Hello, fuckers. Welcome to another episode of Sloss and Humphreys on the Road. I managed to trick my wife, Cara Sloss, into being a guest on this podcast. She said she only wants to do half an hour. And I'm going to straight up tell you, I think we'll get more than that. You've sent in questions. If you were on the Instagram, if you were on the Patreon, we gave you the chance early in the day to ask some questions for me to ask Cara. I will be asking her a bunch of them.
Sloss and Humphreys on the road.
Muggins and cream, cream and muggins, straight thuggin', living the dream.
That's our intro.
Fucking muggles.
Tickling the clit inside your head that makes you laugh. They said it can't be done.
Also, there's no point where this has to start. I can literally just ask you, what was your favourite show out of the shows you saw yesterday? And I know you saw 5, and I know that's going to put you in a difficult position.
Just try to do the maths of how long I was. I was out for 12 hours.
You were out for 12 hours?
I was out for longer than 12 hours because I went out at 3:30.
You left at 3:30, but me and Kayla...
No, I was in Abattoir.
At 3:30. Because me and Kaylin left the house at about 12:30.
Yes.
Yeah. You stayed, waited for your bridesmaids / my cousins.
No. Yes.
Yes. You can.
True or false?
If you want to, just to get us into this, if you wouldn't mind, could you tell the story of why my cousins are your bridesmaid?
Because you threatened me.
I don't remember it this way, but...
It was a threat. I don't even think we were together.
No?
No, it was before we were official. And
So this is back in, just to give the context,
2018 maybe?
of the year that you and I, after initially kissing, and
Yes.
the fallout of that being your sister, my ex-girlfriend, not being cool with that, we kept our relationship secret for a year.
It wasn't a relationship.
It was not, we were just fucking each other whenever we could be arsed. Which was a lot. I have to make sure that this isn't Chris and Rosie Ramsey. That's all this is. I have to make sure that when you and I do this, we do this in our own individual way. Because, baby, we're never going to sell out Wembley. Baby, I'm not going to sell out Wembley. So, during this year of us being in secret...
You chatting... I don't know why you were talking about your family. You just like to talk. And you were saying how that you and David and Andrew had made this pact. I don't know if Matthew and Jack were involved in this.
No, so there were the 3 big boy cousins who were the original. So I was on my mum's side of the family, I'm the oldest. Then there was Andrew, and then there was Josie, and then there was David. And then obviously Josie passed away, and that left us with the 3 big boy cousins. And then after what's the name of Katie Morag? Is that the name of the fucking book? You're Northern. Do you know the Katie Morag books?
I know what you're talking about.
I guarantee if you fucking Google them, you know them. Do you know Katie Morag? So they were like,
Yeah, Katie Morag.
yeah,
I don't know who that is.
I'll show you right now. You never saw Katie Morag? No. So Katie Morag was a children's book that my grandparents had back when fucking 7 books existed. And it was about this little girl from Scotland called Katie Morag, and she had big boy cousins. And that's where the term big boy cousins came from.
Right.
So when Ailey was born after Josie passed, and then Sarah after the fact. Wait, is Chad the youngest of them?
Yes.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
It's very embarrassing that I looked over to my other brothers to get the answer to the question, and he went,
Yes. Jack is the youngest.
So that's where we got the big boy cousins thing from, because I think even David is, 5 or 6 years older. So there was just this gap between us.
Yes.
And Ailey and Sarah, well, Ailey loved us all. Sarah was a little piece of shit. But we all loved each other because in something that I'm sure you'll bring up at some
Family.
point. Do you have anything to say about my family?
Nope.
No.
I'm sure it's been covered several times.
By Cullen. Cullen has very aggressively covered my family's love of each other and how unnatural it is.
It's weird.
Yeah. So, how did I blackmail you or threaten you?
It wasn't even a threat to me. It was you just put it into the air and was like, you better pick up on this. You didn't like say, Cara, this is what it's got to be. You just, the fact that you said it, you floated it into there.
My vision board is just saying things out loud to people and hoping they do that.
Please come true, please come true.
Yeah.
And it was something along the lines of, me and my cousins, we have this pact that, like, the girl cousins have to be bridesmaids at our wedding. Like, we've promised them that they will be bridesmaids at our wedding. And if my future wife can't get on board with that, then she's not going to be my wife. It's like, all right then. Yeah.
Yeah, you know those. I mean, I was going to say, you know, those impossible standards you have when you walk into this relationship. You absolutely did not have that with me. Exhibit A. But yeah, just, you know, when you think you want something from this and it's very important to the relationship. Like, we'd said to them since they were young they could be bridesmaids, and I thought that was dead. I thought that was dead in the fucking water. I thought that was just something you said to kids, you know.
Like, Santa's real.
Yeah. Like, and you know what? You know, hey, we can't go to McDonald's we can't go to McDonald's today, but we'll go next week, and hopefully in the next week the kid forgets that we're getting at McDonald's next week. I thought that was going to happen with Ailey and Sarah, and then fucking Andrew at his wedding made both Ailey and Sarah bridesmaids, and I'm like, well, now I have to.
Did you mention it to them after that wedding? Because I wasn't.
No, and they didn't mention it. To be fair to Ailey and Sarah, they did not expect to be your bridesmaids at all.
Oh, they didn't.
No,
You expected it.
I did not expect it, but like with the false sort of my future wife will do this, or my future wife will do this.
It was very ranty.
I would love to drag 27-year-old me into this room and just get him to tell you all the things he thought his future partner was going to do. And just watch you would, and not even, you wouldn't even have to admonish him. I think the look you would give him would make him enough to be like, this is the saddest I've ever been with an erection. He'd fancy you. Of course he would. But it was
Right
me.
now?
Yeah.
My Christmas jumper top, the unmatching bottoms,
Yeah.
the
And also, just out of curiosity, how many,
unwashed hair.
out of, what number out of how many
it's even got
Christmas
Caitlin's
pajamas
dinner
are
on
these?
it.
Did you say dinner or diarrhea?
Dinner? Do you think it just wears diarrhea stained clothes?
I think
I
you.
know
I
I'm
thi-
a lot of things.
I think
know
you
that
would
that's
might not.
offensive.
I think you might not notice his diarrhea, but if it's
How would it
that,
be on my arm?
that was going to be my next.
It's gone with me on.
I just don't want to because I'm not
My
wearing
nails.
gloves.
Oh yeah, my nails that aren't painted properly.
I don't want to put one of my nails through the little wet wipe, so I've got to do it with the oxter of me fucking. No wait, that's the oxter, and that's just a Scottish word, isn't it? Oxter. Nobody, you don't call it oxter?
I don't like that. It's gross.
You don't like it as a term,
No.
but you agree oxter's a term. Oxters aren't.
Sweaty oxters.
Aye.
So gross.
So because of my,
We've gone so far off topic. This is annoying.
this is why you're on the podcast, baby.
Do you remember what this conversation's about?
It's about your Fringe Day, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on this, we've derailed about. Well, to be fair, it was my fault for not having a clue what you were talking about.
Look, this is why I'm telling you that you need to be on the podcast regularly, right? Because Matthew's there working this out, and whenever Jack's here, he's fucking Googling World of Warcraft or Minecraft or whatever Jack's doing. I'll occasionally look over at Jack and I'll be like, can you Google that? And he's like, who's in the room? It would be very good to have you regularly, because when me and Kai drink in front of you and Natalie, which you also join in drinking, but we're very much doing it as a performance, you will regularly point out how often we go off track. I know it's Natalie's.
It's sometimes fascinating to watch. mostly infuriating.
Yeah, I imagine that's how everyone who listens to this podcast feels.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
I was going to keep coughing. I don't want to...
Oh, we'll just turn it away. No, you're good. Hey.
I don't know how loud it is, though.
That's his job. So, because I forced you to have a relationship with all of my family, and because you are a very sweet and loving person.
No, they're my friends in their own right.
That's what I mean.
It's not like, no, they're Daniel's cousins.
No. It's like, I didn't say goodbye to my cousins today. I went out for a walk with Caleb and you...
I didn't say bye to your cousins today. I went to my bed. Well, I kind of did. I just walked past them up the stairs and went, bye, we'll go to sleep. I didn't see Ailey. This was only to Sarah.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, just went back to my bed.
Because Ailey and Sarah, the only times I've brought them to the Fringe before.
Yeah, to see you.
Right.
Like, they hadn't done anything else other than see you.
No. Or the other shows that, like, my mum had booked that day. Like, they've only ever come in as, like, in the wake of whatever I've been
To be fair,
doing.
they didn't pick anything that we saw. Because when I offered it out, nobody knew what they wanted. They were all very much like, oh, it's fine, we're happy to do whatever, don't mind. So I just went rogue.
Oh, I don't think you went rogue.
Oh, I
think
covered everything.
that's not rogue. That's tactical. That's smart. You did it in a way that
But I didn't go off of recommendations.
No.
That's rogue for me. I didn't go for, ooh, I know this is like a surefire.
I agree with what you're saying. My only stipulation is when the Fringe app opened up, I went rogue. I would describe...
You had some sort of meltdown. And push buttons.
Yeah.
And you booked 4 tickets for shows, not knowing if anyone would go with you.
And then booked...
And that's just taking up seats.
Every 4 tickets I bought, I felt so far. In fact, today I managed to get 5 into
No,
those.
there was one you didn't.
Which one?
There was one last week.
I don't think I booked any 4s.
The theatre one on Thursday, you went on your own.
Oh, you're right, darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yes, there though, fuck 'em.
Can I see that?
I can't. We'll never have them on the podcast. The Ruben K will come on next week and be like, how fucking dare you?
I love him.
Yeah.
I met him once.
No.
Possibly last night, but I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, so this was... no, Fringe to Fringe story first.
Sorry, yes. The girls came round.
You see how easy it is?
It's
Do you see
it's
it?
you. It's you. You love to talk and tell stories. It's like, oh, I've got one that's just popped into my head. I have to say it immediately.
Speaking of, after
Okay.
the first time I became fully aware of this, because look, here's
Sorry, I'm just getting the camera open because it's closed.
You, and we'll go to this, you put up with so much of my shit. You'll complain about me in the same way that I complain about you, which is just very openly
Complain about me?
in a very open way to make fun of each other. Like,
Good.
we never gripe behind each other's backs. Whereas sometimes, and I don't know if you feel this way in our relationship, but sometimes by the 5th or 6th time you've mentioned a personality trait of mine, I'm like, oh, fuck, she loves me. And she's brought it up at the 7th time. And that means the people that don't love me as much as my wife want to say this thing, but are waiting for the 50th or 60th opportunity to do so. Because we trust each other, you'll say it. And when you were like, and it's never criticism, you're just like, you were really drunk last night. And I'll be like, well, basically then it's just like, whenever you get drunk, you really love talking about comedy. And if anyone asks you any questions about comedy, you'll talk for hours at a time. We do the Sydney Opera House. I'm expecting a bunch of drinks afterwards because it's like a big night. But we've been in Australia for 2 weeks at this point. We're getting back. Caelan's been out the entire fucking time. Everyone's tired. We get home. Most people go to bed. Except for our dad. Our father.
That sounds weird.
I specifically phrased it that way. Our father, Dave. Our father.
Ugh.
Our father. I love my father,
Please
Dave.
stop this.
My father, Dave. My father-in-law, Dave. I don't care about the law. I care about the love. My father in love, Dave.
I love you a little less. I don't even know what the point of this story is. What are you talking about?
He stayed up with me that night. He stayed up for a fucking drink, and he was just like, because your dad's very interested in comedy.
Why are we talking about my dad?
About how I go off on tangents.
Aha. I see.
So I think your dad wanted to stay
Leapt
up.
off of one.
I think your dad wanted to stay up and talk about comedy for 5 minutes.
You think he did? Don't think he got a choice.
I didn't know this about
Poor
you.
man's walking upstairs to his bed, just like, oh, do you have a good show? Well, Dave, let me tell you how it all started.
I've already poured you a drab.
Come join me.
You know I don't drink whiskey, Daniel.
Like a wee candle. I saw you.
Hey,
Got your jammies on?
your dad's a hot man. I don't want to fuck him, but he's good looking. Can you grew up with people wanting to fuck your father?
Doesn't make it right.
That's true. That's true. Anyway, despite my tangent,
I don't even know what we're talking about.
your French day.
I mean, it feels like a very dragged out story just to say that I was out.
Welcome to the podcast. The podcast should be called Dragged Out Story.
Let's say that we were out at 4 and we got home at 6:30 this morning.
And
Possibly.
can I not to shame you in any way, but is there any way you could tell the listeners to this podcast
No.
how the first attempt of booking your Uber this morning went?
I was very confused this morning,
Yeah.
eating my bacon roll, when I received a text message.
This is a bacon roll you're having at home.
Yes,
Yeah.
my Starbucks that I had delivered, because that's who I am when I'm hungover.
We had bacon in the fridge. We had toast in the house. Oh, we had bread and a toaster. But
Were
you
you going to cook for me?
could have done.
I'll carry on, shall I? I got a text message that said, it was very confusing, your parking is about to expire. I was like, Daniel, where have you been? Did you use my phone? I went into the message and I had paid for parking at 5:30 this morning in the centre of Edinburgh for a car that was parked outside our front door. £2.65.
Because you were trying to book an Uber. Is the very
No.
Yes.
I saw a car that didn't have a parking ticket.
No. Let's tell the full fucking story here.
No, what happens is I get to a level of drunk where things just mix together in my head. So what I can only assume happened was you, earlier on that day, yesterday, had asked me to pay for parking on my phone.
I couldn't get internet in town. I was parking the car. I saw the attendants coming over. I waved to one of them. I said, I'm doing it. I couldn't get any signal, so I had to phone you from, and not even from 4G, from like the regular, the bars. You know, back in the 90s when you phoned from the bars? I had to do that, like some sort of slumlord. It felt like when I was phoning you, I had to put the rotary dial phone in. It was so old. And I went, can you please put 2
Yes.
hours on the car? So that's why I was in your head.
Yes, so I think that I was just extending your session. I don't know.
At that point, the phone should have been like, all right, motherfucker, you've missed 12 hours of payment.
Well, it was £2.65 from 5:39 this morning until 1 p.m. this afternoon.
Oh, that's impressive.
Because you get free parking on a Sunday till 1 o'clock. So I paid for free parking. I love drunk me sometimes. Sometimes she's... I think I was telling people, Elliot Steele, I think I told him we were off to do karaoke when we were on our way home.
Yeah, he did, because he did
He said,
message.
enjoy karaoke. So, why?
Yeah.
Where am I going to karaoke?
Maybe-
6 in the morning. Maybe we were coming back to go to the bar, not realising
Yeah.
it was 6 o'clock in the morning.
Or maybe you intended to ruin a poor early shift taxi driver's day when you were like, I don't care who this Uber driver is. In my head, it's fucking James Corden and we're doing karaoke.
It was a fun time.
Aye. And of the 5 shows
shows.
you saw yesterday, do you want to tell us all 5?
The first one will be your favourite. Was a Hypnotist. It was silly. It was cute. It was family friendly.
Was it rapey?
No.
No?
No, it was full of 80s songs.
Okay.
And it
it
just made people do dancing, basically.
And
or
so
work
all
it.
the hypnotist stuff was just like, what was he getting cunts to do?
One guy, every time a certain song came on, picked up pom-poms and was a cheerleader.
Great.
One woman, an American woman, she, every time 500 Miles came on, she had to strut up and down the stage. Okay. When he said a word, everyone thought that it had a wet willy in their ear. It was weird. It was just stupid, silly stuff like that.
And did you, and there's no wrong answer to this is...
We're in a safe space.
You know my bias towards hypnotists.
That's why I went, to spite you.
I am very aware of that's why you fucking went. I'm also aware of that why that's why you went to theatre. Even though I've gone to theatre. Was there any creepy vibes from the dude?
No.
None?
He kind of reminded us of Craig Hill. Do you want to see a photo of him?
I do. Because here's the reason why I think hypnotists are creepy. I can name on one finger how many female hypnotists I know. And that is if I count it on a finger that I've cut off from my fucking hand. In the same way that there are so few female magicians, it's just very, that is very Craig Hill.
It is, isn't
it? Bald, slightly older, happy, and then most importantly, pink shirt. And we all know.
That's why I bought tickets.
He doesn't look, to be fair, he doesn't look like one of the creepy...
He wasn't at all creepy.
What's his name?
Matt Hale.
Hale. Would you recommend it as a show to people?
I would, yes. We were running late for it because I discovered yesterday that there are more than one Gilded Blue venue.
Is there?
Yeah. Patterhouse.
What?
Yeah, which is where it was on Chambers Street.
Where the fuck is Chambers Street?
You do know where Chambers Street is.
Oh, it's the museum.
Opposite that.
But it's the same,
Yeah, that
same
bit.
road, yeah.
So there's a Gilded Bloom venue there. Didn't know it. But I'm like, yeah, we're an abattoir. We've only got to walk around the corner 5 minutes. No, we had to walk all the way to
because
Chambers
the
Street.
Gilded Balloon also do all the stuff at the museum. I completely forgot.
So we had to sprint down the road. It was the top floor, all the way top.
And what was your... Okay.
And then we're like, oh my God, the show was meant to start. Sit down, no time to go to the bar. And then during the show, people kept getting up to go to the bar. So I just sat mad that we didn't go to the bar.
Oh, okay. Not mad that people were standing up in front of you. It's just the fact that at no point were they were like, anyone else? Anyone else?
No, because I was right at the edge. I couldn't get out. But no, it was dead wholesome. It was very cute.
That's
And
something I get super...
you, by the way, from what this man was saying, you go under hypnosis loads.
Do I?
Yeah, just when you zone out, you're in a state of hypnosis. Apparently that's what he was saying.
Oh, like when I'm not... paying attention.
If you're just sitting on your phone and you've just oh, what was I doing?
Do you think that's what Kaelin does?
No, he's just weird.
So
I don't know where he goes.
Yeah, our son does the thing, and it's not even every hour. It's anytime you try to communicate him. It's just randomly, he'll be having the time of his fucking life. Right? And by the way, before I tell this story, I don't want any child psychologists...
Diagnosing him.
Any doctors, any fucking parents of kids with any fucking disease to tell us what you think your kid has. I'm sure that's an interesting or tough thing for you to go through. Don't just add is that a cough? That's cancer. My mum coughed and she had cancer and she's dead now. You coughed, that's cancer. Don't do that with us as parents. He will, while having the time of his life, just...
Did you ever watch That's So Raven as a kid? And she'd just go, you should have a vision. That's what he does.
Raven had a vision?
Do you know what I'm talking about? That's So Raven.
I know of That's So Raven, but it was beyond my Disney time. Like I was Saved by the Bell, Kenan and Kel, Cat Dog, Ren and Stimpy sort of generation, and then there was the next generation, which was iCarly,
I didn't watch that. No, That's So Raven was around that sort of time.
That's where Raven was definitely within my thing, but it was like Boy Meets World was the other end of the. Wait, I guarantee you've never seen Boy Meets World.
No.
No, Boy Meets World was like 1998 to 1999, whereas That's So Raven, I'm going to say, was 2002. Also, Boy Meets World was definitely 1985. I
Point being, she zones out and has visions. That's what I like to pretend he's doing.
Aye.
He can see the future.
Well, he doesn't seem happy about it if he can't. He just seems confused. Because
Because he's only 18 months. Of course he's confused. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Oh, God, what's going to happen?
Aye. So, Hypnotist was good. Next up.
Yes, would recommend. Next up was Michelle Braier. Wow. What a voice.
Why is she doing comedy?
Very
Despite
good
the fact that she's very funny. But, like, why would you have that fucking talent for singing?
Oh, she's so good at singing. I have to admit, on that show, we were using our hip flasks.
Oh, yeah, good go. You took your hip flask to the Fringe?
Yeah.
I didn't
I
know
took
this.
my hip flask to your show back in 2017.
When we met?
Yeah. That's
Did
why
you?
we were last in and got put at the front because nobody wanted to fucking sit there.
Well, hold on,
So we had to be like, haha.
Sorry, can you just tell the background of this story? Because I know people are interested.
Oh my God.
So we hadn't seen each other since...
So we met 2012 and then hadn't seen you since then. It was my first experience or my first year going to the Fringe. Had no idea what to expect. I was here for a week and all we knew is that we had to book shows. And there are 3,000 shows to pick from, so it's stressful deciding what to pick unless you get recommendations. But of course we didn't know anyone that had really been. So I had found that you were doing your show and had said,
and just to clarify,
it was like, it might not be funny, I can't remember if it's funny.
No, that wasn't the question. Just for our listeners, were you a fan of me before?
No, if you'd let me finish the sentence, I was saying that at the very least we know Daniel Sloss as a comedian, so we'll just go to that show. It might be shit, we don't know. It's been 5 years since we've seen him.
And there's no way he's gotten better.
I didn't know anything about the venue, didn't know anything.
So you didn't know how fucking famous I was?
No, I didn't care.
Still don't.
I think we booked tickets and then I went on your Instagram and I think you were like just under 10,000 followers or maybe around 10,000 followers at that point. And I was like, ooh, he's doing all right for himself. And then, so there was 3 of us that went. I think that day we'd done Silent Disco into your show, into What Was Late and Live.
And I very much badmouth you for the Silent Disco.
Oh yeah, we don't give a fuck, I'd do it now. I love the Silent Disco. You have to be drunk for it, which is why we had the hip flasks out. So we'd just get wee bottles of juice, walk around.
Did I tell you the other day when I walked to Mothers and Toddlers with Kaylin, there is this Silent Disco, which I remember so much from the time we met. And it's so big now that they had to break up into 3 separate parade groups.
They take about 50 people on them.
Oh, this was 150.
Wow.
This was, yeah.
But is it all the same company? Because more than one company
Yes.
do them.
So
You've
they
got
all
a
had...
wee flag.
Yeah. Walking down, they're all singing their fucking songs, except for one girl while we're walking down. She just goes, Daniel Sloss! Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Yeah, he's right there. Yeah. Not a biggest fan. And I'm just being like, thank God my son doesn't understand full English.
I love the Silent Discos. But yes, we'd taken the hip flasks for that, got to your show, and people queue. I'm one of the ones that like to wait until the queue's moving and then I'll get involved. So people were queuing outside your room at the EICC.
Yes.
Yep. And we went to the bar to just get lemonade to then pour in our hip flasks.
You dirty little...
So we were able to just walk in. Didn't think that we were going to be in the front.
Dirty. You see, here's the
just
thing.
mad.
Whenever I say that she's cheap and northern and you all think I'm being racist.
No. Because yesterday, what we were doing was buying doubles and then adding in more. Like, we still paid that bar. And we did.
That doesn't make it better,
We
darling.
did shots. Like, we did our part, okay? Don't make me... don't.
Also, darling, you can get free drinks at the bar and you're not affecting anyone. All the Gilded Balloon Assembly Pleasance.
No, it was
they're
an
all
abattoir.
making... Underbelly's also making their fucking money. They don't...
Where did we go? Irrelevant.
This is why you'd be good in the podcast.
What? Just shutting things down to me?
Yeah, to be able to get halfway through a sentence and be like, oh, this is irrelevant, as opposed to going, I'm going to stop the podcast and make everyone remember the thing I was saying.
Well, anyway, why are we talking about the hip flask?
Because we were talking about how you, the story of how you first came to see me.
No, we were talking about seeing Michelle Braier, and we had hip flasks, and I admitted that we were using hip flasks in her show. Before, not while she was on, we just had Diet Cokes and Fanta and...
But I was also asking you to get the story of how we met. So you were late in the queue to come and see me.
Not even late in the queue. You weren't on stage or anything. They were just filtering people in, and we were like one of the last people through. And like they're like, oh, how many? So we're like 3. Oh, perfect. Bang in the middle of the front row. I'm all right then. I thought that was all right, except we wanted to be hidden in the further back, so it was darker and we could get the hip flasks out without getting in trouble. And then, yeah, we were just front and centre, lights on us.
I walked out, didn't recognise you instantly. Knew I recognised you.
I didn't recognise you. Is this who I picked to see? Surely not.
Fucking hell. Matt Rife's got leukemia.
This was a hypnotist.
Please make me think this is funny.
That's why I left.
I spoke to you.
Yes, you'd asked a question in part of your show. Mm-hmm. And you used that as an in to be like...
Don't pretend I used it as an in for
You did, because you went to ask my friend. And then went, oh, hold on a minute, are you... I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah, I am.
Bitch, I didn't know you were you.
Okay.
To be well, I do remember the crystallising moment because, and I know you'll deny this, and you have every right to deny this, but you were wearing the most fuck me jeans in the world.
For anyone wondering what those are, they're just jeans with a rip in the leg. I
You know-
had ripped jeans on yesterday.
You know, like sluts wear? Yeah, and you were gagging for it yesterday. Vintage you.
I didn't get home till today.
I don't know who you were fucking.
True.
I heard you bumped into Ruben K.
I don't know though, did I?
Maybe you cured him.
Also bumped into Elliot Steele.
Maybe you cured him.
Of what?
Quick, Google what disease do horses get?
Mad cow. Oh god, I'm too hungover for this.
You know, you're doing great. So,
Right, yeah, Michelle Braier, fantastic. After that was Please Love Me, your kind of show. Please love me.
what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
We're moving on quickly.
No, we're not.
We have to speed this up.
I'm hanging this up right now.
It was a theatre performance with some pole dancing and...
That's not my show. Don't tell people that's my show.
Please love me. She sings, that's what they sing in it. It's great. It's really catchy, but it's just something you would enjoy. It'd be a bedtime song. I should get the backing track for like your shows. Anyway, very good. And then from there we went to Now. It was meant to be a Bandaman. Mm-hmm. And it was cancelled.
And why was it cancelled?
Because of lightning, is what we were led to
Told.
believe. But no, he turns out he's not feeling well, which is very sad.
Yeah, I found out
And-
today. I went to see another show today, and somebody knows a panda man very well, and was like, he never gets sick, and he's not.
Also, I'm going to see the show during the month. It was just,
Oh, yeah.
I was desperate to see
A
the
panda
girls
man
do it
is,
yesterday.
and I think you'll agree
Brilliant.
here, if you are ever going to the Fringe, and if you're like, let's just go see anything, if you want a guaranteed fucking superb 5 stars out of 5, easily, every single time without fail, and if you're taking friends who've never been to the Fringe before, a band of man is always the answer. You have to pre-book it because it's that fucking good. But there is not a single person on this planet who's worthy of your time that would not enjoy.
Oh, yeah, that it
All
kind
of
of, I don't want to say derailed because that's dramatic, but the day was planned around that show. That one was booked in for a while. So we had to find a last minute sort of stand-in for that. And it was called Sophie's Surprise 29th Birthday Party.
Yeah.
Now, what would you expect that was?
I would expect that it was a one-woman play about a woman approaching her 30s who was like questioning whether her friends from her 20s were going to be her friends in her 30s and whether it was time to make the cut pre-30th birthday. And that's
way too deep for what it was.
No.
So far from what it was. It was a circus show, but what they did was they picked someone in the audience to be called Sophie, gave her a party hat, and then every so often they'd be like, "Woo, happy birthday, Sophie!" and get her to like make choices and things.
And then at the end of the show, they gave her Sophie's Choice.
She got a party bag.
This is a woman who doesn't get the Sophie's Choice reference. That's why they got no laugh.
Is it funny? Anyone?
It's not funny. It's very sad. There's a movie called Sophie's Choice.
Shall I Wikipedia?
With Meryl Streep in it, where she's going to the Holocaust and she got to like pick which of her kids at Sophie's Choice.
Wow.
I so wish Kai was here in this podcast.
Me too.
I'm so sorry. I think that was such a funny joke and it's so awful. I'm so sorry.
You actually got tears in your eyes.
It's not really bad. Like it's so different to just. It's so different. Don't do the Beaker impression. That's more of it. Me.
I'm not doing it. It's you making the noise. I'm doing an impression.
I've just normally when I say horrible fucking things on this podcast, they're either ignored by this person and then laughed over here. I've never just had you being like, I don't get the reference, and now that you've explained it to me, that's awful.
Yeah, it was just a circus act. It was brilliant.
The circus acts are always, especially like, because
very impressive.
right,
So impressive.
and you because like
It's
you
proper like
people
bum moment times.
People think that like circus has to be in this big fucking theatre for it to have any fucking value. But you've got to remember, these people are doing physical things that none of us can do. And seeing it in close proximity is actually infinitely more impressive than seeing it from 200 fucking feet away.
It was, yeah, we really needed that after the Please Love Me show, which was like had trigger warnings of
Rape.
abortion. No, there wasn't one for rape, but there should have been, I guess. It was abortion, eating disorders. It's quite a heavy show.
Yeah.
And
very, very unprofessional that they kept the rape bit as a surprise, just artistically.
it was, well, they never, it was weird. I don't want to go too much into it.
Just in case people see it.
But yeah.
Deep.
But also it's complicated to describe what we watched. But the circus went very good. Then we had an hour to kill until our final sexy circus show.
And how sexy.
Not as sexy as I wanted it to be. Still very good. Still very, very, very good.
How sexy did you want it to be? Did you
I
want it to be like...
cock. I wanted tits.
But how did you want it to be in a circus? Did you want like one woman doing a handstand?
It wasn't a circus, it was like cabaret.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what? It was variety. There was
Hi.
fire twiddling things.
Was the fire coming out of any hole?
No.
It was just, well, except the mouth.
There was fire on bum cheeks. A man lit a woman's bum cheeks on fire.
A woman's bum cheeks, but
Yeah.
there's no hair on those.
And then she had like nipple tassels on, and it was like fire down her chest.
Oh.
And then there was a Japanese burlesque dance man. That's what it was. And he had on tiny little string. I was concerned that was coming off. Didn't want that so much, actually.
So a tiny little Japanese man comes
No, he
up.
wasn't. He was hench and he was in big heels, but he was older than I was expecting. I don't know what I was expecting. It was great for a 5 to midnight show.
Okay.
Full of drunk people that were very, very, very rude and were booing, and I don't have time for that.
Yeah, no. My cousin was telling me about this. There was some fucking... and this is, for me, the bane of all live performance. Not even live performance. It's also the bane of fucking theatre and cinema. Which is... One of my cousins was explaining to me, there was some guy in front who was drunk, who'd been out at the Fringe fucking all day, had decided to go to a 10 to midnight show.
Yeah, and I mean, I think
Read
they're used to it because it's that late of a show, but it doesn't excuse it.
There's just this fucking drunk guy who's... Because a friend has booked a show, and the way his friend has described it is like, it's a sexy circus show. This one drunk cunt who's been drinking for 12 hours is sat being like, this isn't sexy.
Yeah, so
And
my
it's
joke there of like it wasn't sexy enough, he was serious about that. It wasn't sexy enough for him. I was like, did you think you were coming to watch live porn? Like,
porn's free online, and you can wipe
but he
to
wanted
it in
to
a...
watch it in real life.
But why, Cara?
I don't know. I could just imagine. I just assumed that's what he was after, and he felt the need to boo. But luckily, I had a
disgusting
tiny little
gross.
Rottweiler with me. Kate tapping him on the shoulder. Oi!
Aye.
He did actually pipe down after that.
I bet he fucking did.
Yeah.
If you ever hear a fucking London accent coming from a small white woman, you
Run.
shut your mouth fucking immediately. Like, see, if I was in a show and I was being rude for whatever reason, like my dad never hugged me or I've not had any talent in my life, and someone was to tap me in the shoulder and be like, hello, darling, I was just wondering if there's any point if you would be able to just quiet down your voice for me, please, because I'm actually enjoying the entertainment. I'd turn around and be like, listen, toots, why don't you fucking take your little Renault Clio, drive off to a Starbucks, get yourself a little mocha, and do something. I don't know what women do.
No, hot chocolate, I don't know. A frappe? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Whereas, see if I was at a show and I was talking and somebody stepped forward with Kate's accent, be like, hello, darling, I'll cut your fucking throat. I'd be like, good.
I'm going to have to tell her to listen to my
Hermione
impression.
learned avacadabra. I gotta, is that not the spell? Is that not the Harry Potter spell? Abracadabra.
You kind of mixed abracadabra with what it should be.
Which is?
At least I didn't say something.
Ivada Kedavra.
Oh, sure.
I'm saying it's that. I'm saying it's that. Yes. Yes.
Just a way to get there because this is going on way too long with my fringe chat.
I disagree. Okay. I think that's just you being in camera for the first time, and also
I'm also trying to actively avoid the camera.
yeah, and also because I allow a lot of dead air, and then when it's dead air, I fill it with all of my inane chat that you have to correct. I imagine it feels like this is going on for a long time that you've not helped.
It just feels like we've spent too long talking about my fringe day.
I get it. Look, when this podcast goes global, why are you laughing? You're the Your job is to make this bigger, Matthew.
Dreams can come true.
What do you mean global's funny? I sold out 8,000 tickets in under
Matthew.
fucking 7 minutes in India. Like Turkey sold out in 2 days. I'm global. What is this?
Come on, questions.
Do you want to do the levies first? I think they might be better to do first.
Sure.
Yeah, and we can just
I'll
edit
follow
this
this,
fucking... Yeah. Okay. So, the thing me and Kai have done on the podcast when we would tour together for too long and needed to aerate things was, I love you, but... And then you'd say something that you find annoying about them. I asked you earlier today if you wanted to do this, and you said a very beautiful thing.
No, I stole it from Grey's Anatomy.
Did you?
Yeah.
Cara, I swear, please tell the story. But before people hear the story, I didn't know that. I thought this was just a really beautiful part of you.
No. How wrong. Ew. As if I'd care. Grey's Anatomy, you're not on that season yet, so you've not seen it yet.
Spoilers!
I didn't spoil it.
As long as Jackson Avery is still there, and who's the chief? Who do we like?
Who?
Chief.
Miranda?
No, chief. Miranda becomes chief?
No.
Miranda becomes chief?
She gets fired.
Did she just spot? Does Miranda become chief?
No.
What happens to chief? What happens to Richard Webber?
He's not chief. It's Hunt.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's always chief in my head. That's where it's got. That's what it's.
Miranda was chief resident, remember? Facts are facts.
Nice red herring, baby.
Carry on. I stole it from Grey's Anatomy.
You stole it from Grey's Anatomy.
Because you were like, oh, you have to do I love you but. And I was like, oh no, it's I love you and. In spite of everything you are. I love you and.
Just
I love you but's better.
because in our relationship, please correct me wherever I get any of this wrong. I am the emotional one. Mm-hmm. I am the sensitive one. Mm-hmm. I am the one that overthinks everything. And because of that, that feels like to me that was where I'd be like, not I love you, but I love you, and because that's more inclusive.
Of course, that's how you thought of it.
And you're like, Miranda said it, and I love fucking Miranda.
It was actually Addison Montgomery.
Alice Montgomery's Derek's ex. Yes. I'll
Love
still never forgive them for killing Mark Sloan.
I didn't answer because I don't know who you were thinking. And
You saw
lots
me
of people die.
cry my eyes out when Mark Sloan died.
And Lexi and everyone else that dies.
Let's not.
Oh, that's the spoiler.
Yeah, it is. I cried when I thought, oh, fucking Ginger Surgeon was even contemplating death. Made me weep.
Hunt.
No, Ginger, the one that did fucking Arizona, our mentor. The one with the season we've just watched. Ginger lady had the brain tumor.
Ginger lady.
Oh, get rid of Ginger if that's what's fucking you up. The Arizona's elder who.
She's not Ginger.
She's Ginger.
She is. I'm getting a picture of her.
She's Ginger.
What's her fucking
Matthew
name
will
again?
do it. Yeah. What's her name on the show?
She
But
was
they
the
did
mum
well.
in Stuart Little. Harmon. Dr. Harmon.
Dr.
Nicole
Harmon.
Harmon.
Nicole Harmon.
She's not Ginger.
She's not Ginger?
That's brownie, blondie. Not Ginger.
Was she Ginger in Stuart Little? Can you
Don't
look up the
know.
mum from Stuart Little, Matthew, and tell me if she was Ginger? And, and don't tell me if tell me if you think she's Ginger. Because also, sorry for another tangent. I don't know if you know this. Stuart Little was one of your favourite movies growing up.
I'm sorry, Matthew. Do you not know your own favourite films?
Just in the sense that, like, from the age of, like, I think 3 to 7, that was like his. Because we've not got to that stage with Kaelin yet. There's no thing that he demands on it. For me, it was Boy and the Bird, which was the Rescuers Down Under. My mum and dad will tell you I would scream for Boy and the Bird, Boy and the Bird, Boy and the Bird. And that was that. So I'm just curious if you remember her being Ginger from Stuart Little. Nah?
I don't remember much about the film.
Oh, man. I
But
wonder...
she does look Ginger.
Oh, she does there.
There,
So
that's where it's come from. Okay, I'm definitely wrong now. She's definitely not Ginger now, but that's where my Ginger recollection was coming in. Anyway, we're talking about why I'm sensitive.
No, we were talking about
Oh, yes.
where I got I love you and from.
Yes. So you're being. It's not that you. I don't think you're a meaner person than me in any way. I know I regularly talk in the podcast about you and Cullen being the
mean girls.
The mean girls. But you and I bitch the same amount
Oh, yeah.
about several things. I just think
It's funner with Cullen.
It's funner with Cullen because Cullen is not as pathetically empathetic as I am.
Yeah.
I don't like confrontation. I don't like hating other people. Even though I do hate other people and I do it sometimes on this podcast, it does fill me with a fucking heavy guilt. Whereas you're just like, anyone that's burnt me can not die in a fire, not as harsh as me.
Get fucked.
Yeah.
Right, do your thingy, my bobbers.
Okay, I love you, but...
I'm so intrigued.
Am I going first?
Yeah.
I love you, and I'm guilty of this too, but you're worse, so here's why it's coming up. I find it hard to show you a film or TV show that I really love because I know you'll be on your phone for most of it.
No, if you told me it was one of your favourite films, we watched all of the Batman ones, The Prestige.
Yeah.
If you just put something on to pass time,
The time, yeah, okay.
I'm not.
Because you gave me Grey's Anatomy and I am on my phone a lot during that, and I but like, here's where this came from, and I love the Daredevil TV series.
Oh, here we go. Drag up this then.
I love the Daredevil series. You love Marvel.
Yes. I wanted to love Daredevil. You just wouldn't answer my fucking questions.
And in hindsight, yes. During lockdown, we watched all the Marvel movies together.
Yep.
Everything that came
What,
out.
S.H.I.E.L.D.?
We watched all of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Loved
together.
that.
S.H.I.E.L.D., which, and here's where my point comes up. S.H.I.E.L.D., where, if anyone's watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know that after season 4, they just go, fuck the rules.
Oh, it's
Let's
insane.
just do anything and make this entertaining. And if you surrender to it, which we did, we loved every single season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I'm sure we'll watch it again.
Yeah.
We then watched the Marvel movies. We're all into it, and I'm like, Daredevil's just the best. It's
Jessica
just
Jones started that.
We loved that. We're like, let's get into this. Let's do this together. And for some reason, Daredevil was the one time during all of the Marvel movies that I think some guy loaded his gun, and Daredevil went, "Oh, that's an M16," and Cara went,
How does he know
"That's
that?
ludicrous." And I went, Why this point?
I hadn't been given his backstory at this point, and you refused to tell me when I was going to find out the information that I needed to know, and then I found it difficult to watch.
Yes. In hindsight, this is embarrassing because this is, and I love you, but that I've now realised comes back to my failings. because you're right, it was you just wanted further explanation, and it was just me going, just
Watch it!
fucking listen, because obviously
got so annoyed. Well, we're not watching it anymore then.
The best Marvel TV series is objectively Daredevil. It just is.
I'll never know.
And we get 5, and you're enjoying all the episodes, and you're like, okay, yeah, but.
Yeah, this wasn't just episode 1. We got
No.
fairly
And also,
into it.
Here's where I am wrong. Here's where I'm 100% wrong. Because I've grown up in the family I have loving things, I obviously knew all of the history of fucking Daredevil. And just the fact, like, in the same way that if there was a Spider-Man movie where they explained that Uncle Ben was killed and that's why he became Spider-Man, you'd be like, yeah, man, I know. Don't give me that again. That was me with Daredevil.
Yeah.
And fuck, my I Love You But was a failure on me. Okay, let's delete that one and let's start with Cara.
Okay.
I called my hand.
I love you, but you need to learn to close drawers and cupboards after you've gotten your clothes out. It's infuriating.
Oh yeah. I
You
also
just walk away. It's pulled out. Why is that drawer out? Why is that door open?
And why are the clothes that I know are
But you don't do it with like kitchen cupboards.
no?
Pick a lane. All the cupboards are open, or none of them. You can't just pick and choose. Oh, I'll have the bedroom doors open, but I know how to close the mug cupboard. That one doesn't confuse me.
But the milk cupboard just being a fridge, by the way.
The mug, not
Oh
milk.
no, delete that, Matthew. Delete that bit where I corrected her and I was wrong. Can you delete that bit
That's
where
every day of your life. You're always wrong.
Yes, 100%. But do you not agree that it's with our house? It's just so much easier to leave our room a disgusting state.
That's not the point.
I know.
The drawer doesn't need to be open.
No, I'm aware of it, Cara. I've got a lot of clothes, and I know what you're going to say. Donate them.
It's
And
specifically
Cara,
your
my
boxer
response
drawer.
to- Huh?
It's specifically your boxer drawer.
It's not. Have you not seen my drawers in my actual t-shirt?
Oh yeah, you leave them with like t-shirts hanging out over them.
Oh no!
It's like you've tried on outfits.
Gara, like the top, so it's like 5 drawers, and then like that fucking 5 feet of clearance where they give you space for hanging your thing.
You don't hang anything.
I hang some shirts that I never wear, and that's why you never see me using it. The top shelf, which is the one which is above the top drawer, is at a 35-degree angle because that's how much my clothes are stuffed into it. Oh. Because I just need to.
Is that why you leave the drawers open?
No, I do it because I'm a lazy piece
That's
of.
a weird thing to just not do. Just open, shut.
And this is going to be a statement which leads into a question. I have learned a coping mechanism to make me better just around the house. And that coping mechanism was taught to me by a TikTok/Instagram/algorithm meme, which was like, hey, if you have ADHD, here's a really important bit of life advice. Never put anything down, always put it away. Never put anything down. Like if you're a regular person, you can put something down and go off and you'll come back to it.
Oh no.
But I am someone that will just put something down and be like, I'll do that in 2 minutes and then never do the next thing. And that's how I'm trying to get better at that. Here's the question. Do you think I have ADHD?
I think I've got it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's on the
it's
spoon.
fine. I know it's fine. Is my ADHD worse than yours?
In some aspects.
In some aspects. What aspects is my ADHD not worse than yours?
Conversation wise. I think I zone out more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
'Cause
Because you
people
talk
who-
all the time. I just get bored of waiting for my chance to say something. Remember that? Was it the SpongeBob clip? The film? And it's just, that's me most of the time.
Yeah. Okay. That's a very accurate one and fair. I'll take it on board and cry myself to sleep. I love you, and
Oh, you're going that one.
your opinion that red pants don't automatically mean that you want to have sex is wrong, confusing, and it sets a dangerous precedent. Right? You can wear whatever
I
you-
know what I'm doing.
whatever you fucking want to wear in our relationship at any point is down to you. Baby, you have your own fucking autonomy. That is you. You've got better style than me. You're more fashionable. You're more beautiful than me. The way you can express yourself in clothes in a way that, like, you know, I fumble through. Like, I'll regularly come downstairs with
Fully
the new
clothed all the
shoes.
time.
With the new shoes I've bought and be like, does this match this thing? And you'll be like, kind of. But maybe if we were to go upstairs and just put on a less offensive top, that would be like, you're really good at all of knowing what, like, this is smart, this is casual, this is smart casual, this is it. You know, you have to explain smart casual to me. Yet, you will regularly walk into our bedroom wearing red underwear and be like, this doesn't mean I want to fuck. And I'm like, you are delusional. Look, I'm not saying this about thongs, ladies. I know thongs are for comfort, right? Thongs aren't there for men. I get that. Lingerie isn't just for men. Red fucking panties is just for I'm horny.
Sorry, did you just say thongs are for comfort?
Are they not?
A piece of underwear that goes up your arse crack.
Sorry, not comfort.
Love
but I
that.
meant like
so comfy.
Sorry, you're right. Comfort's not what I meant, but I meant like VPL. That's the thing, right?
No VPL. You don't want VPL is visible pant line.
Yeah, so you don't want that.
No VPL.
'Cause, so when
There's specific underwear for that, not just thong.
So here's where this all comes from. When me and Jean were living together and we were sharing a fucking laundry thing, one time I was cleaning out Jane's laundry to do put my own stuff in, and I know this is alien to you, me doing any laundry. But when I was bringing out Jean's stuff, Cara, there was a week worth of clothes in there, right? Just a week's worth of clothes. And there were 7 thongs. And I'm like, what kind of slut is Jean?
Because you only wear boxers.
Yeah. Yeah. And if I was to wear a thong, I'd want to get fucked.
Good to know.
I just thought you were doing it to clean.
Weird. I'll take it. Fine. Fair point. I'm not going to stop.
Good. That's better news. Just as long as you accept that when I come on heavy and we have sex afterwards, you did it and it wasn't me.
Sure. I love
See
you.
how happy she is to fuck me?
I love you, but I don't love your chicken laksa. I'm sorry.
It's not as good as Cullen's, is it?
It's not as good as Cullen's.
It's not as good.
I really like Cullen's, and he doesn't.
Cullen's is so good.
He doesn't live here anymore. No, and you offer it way too often.
Yeah. And here's the embarrassing thing. So I love chicken laksa. I think it's fun to make. I think it's easy. I think it's delicious. Like if you've never tried it before, I'm not cultured. It came from a HelloFresh thing, and it was so fucking good. And then literally 2 weeks after that, I think I was in Australia, and Demi Lardner cooked me the best laksa I've ever had in my fucking life. And then when we were doing HelloFresh, when we were doing Kale and Dewey, because we had the great privilege of having Cullen in the house, sometimes we were like, hey man, we're on him today, you're making dinner. And Cullen would follow this recipe to the...
No, he got so confident with it. He just
Yeah.
went with that, and it was delicious.
It was.
You like it quite soupy.
Yeah.
This was a little bit thicker.
Yeah, it's more of a... Yeah.
Still soupy, but not as runny.
No, but it's not as ramen-y. It's more like a
Yeah.
fucking bit. Yeah,
It's
and
delicious.
Cullen's laksa is objectively 1,000 times better than mine.
Yeah.
And it was devastating because I will always, whenever we do our weekly shop, we plan out like the meals we're going to have.
Our
for the
very
week.
limited menu choice.
Yeah, because we're both picky eaters. We go, let's go through the 12 things we eat and decide the 7 we'll do this week.
Yeah.
And I will always mention chicken laksa, and you will always go, I don't want your chicken laksa. But you're like, oh, maybe not this week, maybe just the hamburgers, or maybe, just stew, whatever. And then, like, literally after like 4 months since our last laksa, I bring it up and you're like, you know what, fair enough, it's been enough time. When I tell you I made the worst fucking
I didn't even
laksa.
eat it.
Oh, Cara, it
I
was
did
a
not
pile of
put it in my mouth.
I remember Kaelin being given Cullen's laksa and
Oh, loved it.
shoving noodles into his fucking mouth.
Yeah, I think he's just been weird though. Remember you couldn't find the pepper? I found the pepper.
No, you didn't. He did.
I found it in your car.
He also found it in the car.
I just didn't take it out because I was like, this will be fun for him to find later.
And we got in the car and Matthew just went, why is there a pepper in your car?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. 'Cause
But I was laughing yesterday. I was like, what a fool. Pepper in the car. In the wee, I don't even know what you'd call it in the Tesla.
I love you, and it's called a chippy
No.
and not a chipper.
No.
The word chipper already
Rejected.
exists, and it means upbeat, and not a place that serves chips. You are much like when Kai thought that poop meant fart, and we realised that only people within his postcode in the whole of the world thought that poop meant fart.
They
Everyone
are
else
not
agreed.
the same thing.
They are
No.
a fucking chippy is not a fucking chipper, Cara. It is
Chipper.
not a fucking
I'll
chipper.
have a chipper supper, please.
You fucking will. Right, then you're going to have a happy supper that's going to be served to you with maracas.
What's so wrong with that? Isn't it
It's
just
not. It could be a thing.
Isn't it
but
just
you
a
don't.
nicer way to be honest?
You don't get it from a chipper. You can get a chipper from a chippy. I'll accept that.
Chipper chips.
Oh wow.
I'll have some salt and vinegar on my chipper chips, please.
It's
Chipper supper.
disgusting. It's bad. You gotta back me up on this
So
one. This
triggered.
is abominable. This is abominable.
Chipper.
Right?
Chipper.
pretty bad.
It's a fucking disgrace.
Nobody cares as much as you do. You need to take a long, hard look at
I fucking
yourself.
promise you, once we delete every...
Nails on a chalkboard, is it?
once we delete every comment that was negative about me from this episode, when we search by top results, it will be people agreeing with me that you calling it a chipper is Prince Andrew levels of creepy grossness.
They're both right. Both can be right. That's the world I like to live in.
No, only when you're wrong do you like to live in a world where we're both right. When I'm wrong, you love to live in a world where I'm wrong.
Yes. This is my last one. I love you, but this is clearly just a game to get me to tell you that I love you more than once in a day. Grow up.
I'd fucking take once a day.
I know, I was being a bit generous with myself there. I need to hear it all the time.
Before we go to the questions, I think the only big thing, and it's not big, the only thing where you and I aren't the same person is in how we express love. I don't
think anyone can keep up with how you express love.
I'm a loving person.
All the time.
I love you all the time. What you want?
You don't need to tell me all the time.
Did you hear this broken family fucking pitch? Did you hear?
I just know. You should just know.
But you insult me all the time.
Love me. Now it all makes sense.
Here's the way I justify it to myself. I will say the worst things in the world to you. One, because you can take it, you know it's not real. And two, because I counterweight that with regularly telling you that I think you're so beautiful, that I find you unbelievable.
No, you've turned that into a bit now. I don't believe you when you say these things.
I do. I do it as a bit.
Yep.
But it's a very funny bit.
For you.
Whenever we leave anywhere with more than 3 people, I will urgently drag Cara to the side of wherever we're going to and be like, I am so sorry. I can't imagine how awkward it was for you being the most beautiful person in that room, but you handled it with grace. And you handled it with... Anywhere we go. After the Playhouse show, and I'm like, was it the most awkward thing being the most beautiful girl at my show? She's like, I was backstage and I left before you were on. And I'm like, and is that because you were the most beautiful? I like to go as hard as fucking possible to say the worst things, but then also in our moments together when it's just us, to tell you very earnestly that I think you're beautiful and I love you dearly.
And I like to reply, no, you don't.
If I'm
Which
lucky,
is my favourite bit.
Because this isn't my way of saying that you love me. Like, we have different love languages. Your love language is organising something. It's doing something for me. It's presence. And physical. You're so much, like, don't get me wrong. This is very much me coming to terms with the fact that we have different love languages. But my frustration arrives from, baby, I'm so good with words. and I'll tell you, bitch, every fucking day, how much I think those tits are dank. And
I hate every word that's just come out. Air fucking day.
Our day.
Ugh.
I tell you, them titties dank. I tell you.
And you wonder why I don't tell you I love you every day.
I tell you, them titties dank with a straight face. I tell you, them titties dank with love.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. But you'll agree. My love language is words, and I'm just getting used to the fact that me going for 5 minutes about how perfect I think you are and how much I love you. Your response is in no way less, but I just have your response of "Aw" is the same. That's all I have to learn. What time are we on?
You've done about an hour, more than an hour. So you can bang out questions.
You go for 10 minutes of questions?
Yeah, I think we need to answer some of them. You made a point of asking. Just do them. Get it.
Let's go.
Done.
Get it.
All right. Loads of people were asking about how Bruce is doing.
I love Bruce. Bruce is my new pet bat.
Who has come, for those that don't know, we have a wood burner in our living room.
We've not just bought a bat.
No. We have a wood burner in our living room. Obviously, the wood burner has a chimney outside. This bat found its way into our wood burner. We released him. The next day he was there. We fed him. We released him
again.
The next day he was there, and we were like, I think he just lives here now. And then we found out that the UK has very good and strict laws about bats. They are a protected species. If they live where you live, you do not get to kick them out. You can offer them outside, but if they come back, congratulations, you've got a new fucking tenant. But there's also no company in the UK.
Not entirely true. There are bat helplines. I phoned the SSPCA. They were very much just like, put him outside. If he flies away, great. If not, we'll have to come back. So that's what I'm going to have to do. Because I tried letting him out, and his wee wings were flapping, and he just fell to the ground 3 times. But he can crawl. I don't know what the injury is. His wings look fine. There's no holes in his wings. I don't know if he's just exhausted at this point.
And also, very importantly, there was a day where we put him out on our closed horse.
And he flew away.
We put him out on a blanket, we put him on the top, and he flew away.
So
and it was a
seen him
beautiful
fly.
moment where we both hugged and we were like, that's him gone. And then we came back downstairs
I think he likes the wood burner. I do think this is like safe space.
Yeah, I do. I think he likes the top of it, but I think when he
No,
sleeps,
I think he likes
falls
the
down.
burner because they hang upside down.
Do they all?
He sleeps in all sorts of positions. I've been stalking him a little bit.
Yeah.
And there were a few people saying like, why don't we get mesh around like the top of the...
We could do.
We can't. Nobody can reach that. Like a ladder won't go up that high. It's impossible.
Oh, really?
It's in a really awkward place just outside our room.
Yes, we'd have to pay for scaffolding. He's good. We fed him today, for example.
Yeah,
he's
some
had water. He's had food. We offered him outside. He didn't take to it, so we took him back into where he was happy. We're phoning.
The plan tomorrow is to phone the SSPCA again, or there is, like, I'd phoned Sasha and Luna's vet, but they don't deal with wild animals, so we need to find out.
And you're like, hi, I'm here for a bat scan. Do you mean a cat scan? Yes and no.
Bruce is okay. Don't know how the story ends, but
he's still with us, and
still with us.
he's happy.
I'm happy.
Despite the fact that for 4 hours of the day he has to live life in a television set while 2 giant predators look at him.
Stay on place.
Yeah.
This one's for Cara. Describe Daniel as a dad in 1 word.
Oh, 1 word.
Give her 3.
No, I could do one, I think. Brilliant.
Really?
You're brilliant, Dad.
Yeah?
I'm going on for a big sentence now, but yeah, you are a very nice dad.
Oh, thank you.
You're wonderful. Good dad.
Thank you.
You know you're a good dad.
I know I'm a good dad most of the time. Sometimes I get the standard anxieties and fears that just because, like, I'm not there as much. And now that he's old enough to know that he definitely misses me.
Yeah. That's nice though that he misses you.
It is.
Because
But
there was a point you didn't care.
Yeah. He only cared when I sort of came back. But
Like, you are the fun one. He prefers playing with you, but bullying me.
Oh God, he does. It's so funny just how, and I don't know whether it's like a fucking sex thing or just like as in a gender thing. I mean by that, like that he's just like, oh, Dad is rough and
He can
plays,
throw me about.
and Dad's the one that beats me up. And
You don't
Mum's-
really beat him up, like play beat up.
Yeah, when you're there, I play beat him up. Cara, I'm going to tell you right now on this podcast, at least 2 of the injuries I've told you he got from something where...
The bruises.
Yeah, they were from some very fun games of hide and seek.
Okay.
Yep.
Take back that word.
The Dug and Bone asks, why can't she stop flirting with my husband when she's got her own?
Yeah, answer this question, can I?
Natalie,
This question.
let's just first address that I'm doing this podcast without Natalie.
Yes.
We'd always said we would do it together. And here I am. So I guess I'm just letting you down constantly. I can't help myself.
Yeah. They kissed first, Natalie. Their first loves. Cara was a mere 17-year-old and Kai was a mere...
Excuse me, I was
Legal age.
19.
You're 19.
I was 19. I was a woman. I don't fancy Kai and I'm not flirting with him. Most
You
of the
heard
time.
it here first and through gritted teeth of a liar.
That's all I have to say for her.
There's quite a few questions worded differently, but they're all basically, how do you put up with Daniel?
I don't. It's real hard.
I leave a lot.
You leave a lot. So it's a nice...
I give you ample opportunity to miss me. And then also while you miss me being like, you know what? I could do this alone.
He's not bad. He's a pussycat.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I feel like, here's a question. Let me phrase it in a different way. How different am I to you? How different am I now in your perception to your perception of me when we first started dating?
Oh.
Because obviously you know who I was. I was this big fucking arrogant. I'm the
Yeah,
greatest.
you're
fucking
still
thing.
cocky, but it's different. I don't know how to describe it. Like you were cocky back then, and it was almost annoying.
Yeah.
And you're cocky now, but it's like. No.
Now that you've seen the downtime, where it's just me smoking weed, being like, "Am I a drug addict?"
Please love me. Honestly, this show, all the advertising I'm doing for it.
Laura asks, what's been your best or worst date together?
We don't go on dates.
I fucking hate this bit. But it's so
Worst date is the date that you claim was a date and it wasn't a date.
It was a fucking date. It was
Nah.
because of our situation. Her family had found out what had gone on, and because they had not been given the full information about where our relationship was at, because the last bit of information they had received was that 5 years ago I broke up.
There was no relationship.
No, there wasn't.
We barely spoke. Well, that's a lie. We hadn't seen each other.
No, we hadn't seen each
And you
other.
invited me to
You came to the show.
a work in progress show.
I brought you to a work in progress show.
Where your parents were. Mm-hmm. Who does that?
Do you not remember the time I introduced you to my mother at the So You Think You're Funny party? And this was after we'd been banging for about a year.
Me and Jill genuinely thought like you were joking when you went in. This is my mum and dad. We were like, haha. And I was like, oh no, wait, these are his parents. Like,
Yeah.
why is he introducing us to his parents?
Yep.
This
Yeah.
is weird.
And
And then you did it again that night at some the work in progress show. And they were just there. I was like,
Yeah.
why are you sitting me next to your parents?
my mum took me aside afterwards, and this is where I was in my mid-20s. My mother said,
Late 20s.
Cara. She went, is there any point in learning this one's name? And I went,
No.
no. Why would you learn her fucking name? She's gonna be here for a bit. We're gonna have the time of her fucking life. I'll break her heart. She'll be fucking. And then a year later, I'm like, I begged her to marry me.
I don't think we've ever had a bad date.
No, I don't think we have, because we never did like our entire start of our relationship. We were.
I
fuck
do know my
buddies.
best one.
Is it with me?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
It was October 2020. I like dates. And like things were kind of open, kind of not. And we went on a bar crawl round, I say Edinburgh, we didn't go that far, but we went to, we got pizza and the chili dog, and then we went to the whiskey bar, I can't remember what it was, did all the whiskey tasting.
Absolutely.
I mean, Gareth and Laura joined us later on, but we just spent the day
Aye.
drinking. And it was just nice because COVID.
Yeah, it was. It was just, yeah. We were out because we'd gone from fuck buddies to being in a serious relationship where I was away for 80% of the year
Yep.
and you were able to join me for like 10% of that,
Yep.
to I was then depressed and just wanted a whole bunch of time at home. You moved in and then COVID happened.
Yeah.
And we had every single day with each other. And I think there's plenty of people who were in relationships during COVID who will tell you that COVID either made them
Yeah.
or broke them. And we were very much like...
We broke.
Well, I mean, I broke.
You always say this. You were nowhere near as bad as you think you were.
No?
Nah.
Because I always... Yeah, I mean, you always say this. Like, I always think, like... I always... Not criticize you, but you know, your perception of how you are is very different from my perception of how you are. Like I see you in a very different way to you see you. Is fair to say. You just in terms of how you look, you think you look a certain way. I think you look a very different way. We disagree on that on occasion. Just for clarification, I think she's beautiful and she's a humble slut. Whereas. I don't think I'm as good as it the other way. Like I've all of my self-doubts.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be like, well, that's not
You
true.
forget it works both ways.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, you're just saying that because you love me. Even though you don't say it enough. Or sing it. Or do the sexy
Don't know what you're talking about.
you do.
Next question, please.
Sid asks, how many cats do you want? How many does Daniel want? And what have you settled on?
I want all of the cats.
I am so
You're a cat converted.
100%.
No, you're a Maine Coon
I'm Maine
converted.
Coon converted.
I would take any cat.
Not me. I only want cats that can beat the shit out of my son. I only want cats that are hard to pick up because of their fucking size. The second you get Maine Coons, there is just no going back.
No, there's real, I don't know what the word would be, pride in when a cat likes you. Like, if I can see a random cat on the street, I'll, come be my friend.
That's why taking you to Greece is a nightmare.
Oh, don't I get real sad.
Yeah, no, you did.
On any holiday with stray cats.
I would, at this
I name
point,
them.
genuinely take... I would take 2 Maine Coons every year for the next 5 years.
What are you doing with the 2 you already got?
Keep them.
Oh, you're just topping up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do that. I'd happily have a house overrun by Maine Coons. But also, my dream is for one day to, even though I love where we live, I would love to, when our children, our 2 children, the only 2 children that we're going to have, the 2 children, we have one now, and we're going to have one more, and then that's it. After those 2 children, I would like to potentially move somewhere else where we were able to get like a bit more rural, we were to get a bit of land, because
You wouldn't be a weirdo that would be like, we've got all of these cats, let's build them a house outside and they can have their own house.
No, they'd live with us.
Yeah, just making sure. And
They can
I'm
have-
not asleep on the bed.
They're not sleeping on the bed.
They sleep on the bed
They're
when
fucking
you're
toe
not
biters.
there.
They're not sleeping on the fucking bed.
They sleep on the bed
Well,
already.
okay, fine. As long as you're fine at being woken up at 3 a.m. by the sound of the forehead of a cat hitting the ceiling, as after it bites my toe, I kick the cunt through the fucking roof.
It's me. Ew, I hate feet so much.
I know you do.
Why did I do that? Ew, no.
I genuinely think I could. There would be a question: if to have another kid, my one condition was, I need you to suck each individual toe of one of my foot.
I'm cheating.
Yeah,
Those
that's what I thought the answer would be.
big toes ain't going in my mouth.
Please don't bring up my. They're called.
Big toe.
They're Carrot. They're called big toes
Yes, but yours is a big toe.
because
Big
Carrot,
toe, both of them, not just
Carrot,
one.
they're-
You've not just got one large toe.
they are medically defined as big toes.
Yeah,
the fact
but
that my big toes
yours
big.
is bigger than the average big toe. Next question, please.
Just let's do 2 more.
2 more.
Right, Give me a second, I'll just cut this. I've got the last question, because it's good, but... there's two that are kind of the same. What's your favourite fringe show of all time, or what's your favourite comedy special?
Oh. Well, you do the comedy special, I'll do a fringe show. Or have you got a favourite fringe show?
I can do one of each, or do you want to do one of each, or do you want to... I happily do the special.
Yeah.
Fuck. People are going to disagree with me. I'm going to understand their disagreement, but bear in mind that none of them love his comedy anywhere near the amount that I love and have studied comedy. Nobody who listens to this podcast, or most podcasts, studies stand-up the way I do. Bo Burnham's What is close to the greatest special of all time. I understand it's not full stand-up. I think that's what fucking adds to it. If you want the name of the full stand-up special that's the greatest of all time, it's going to be Bill Burr's Black and White one. But if we're talking, for me, great stand-up special of all time, Bo Burnham What is so hard to beat. The lyrics of those songs, the power of the several messages, and the clowniness of the rest of it makes it so uncomparable to me.
Good.
Mm-hmm. And also, can you just clarify, when we first started shagging and dating around, I absolutely made you watch Bo Burnham's What.
Yeah, and then I enjoyed the songs so much, I just started playing the songs.
And that was that. Anyone that's in a relationship who loves comedy understands, even if it's not comedy, when you love some form of media, whether it's music, whether it's theatre, whether it's a bit of fucking poetry or a movie or a TV show, sharing that with the person you feel like you're falling in love with is a big fucking test. Because if they...
Oh, you were always testing me. Chucking tests out left, right, centre.
I really was. I really was. Now that I look back at it, I'm like... First of all, who did I think I was? That I was like,
cocky.
Here's all the hurdles you have to get through to get to me. Like that sort of fucking arrogance. But you know what, darling? You got through them all. And here
darling.
Oh, the carrot on the fucking Instagram stories when I was away in fucking JFL, a spider in the sink, and I was like, just put the cat next to the sink, and the cat will deal with the spider. So Cara then films, and you know what? We'll put this out with the podcast because we've got this clipped. It's the footage of Luna getting
awful.
this giant spider out of the sink, and Cara be like, "Oh, she's got it." It is the funny noise.
You getting it?
I'm gonna get it. While you tell me your favourite.
Oh, the Fringe show. It's got to be Abandoned Man. I've done it every
course,
year.
yep.
I can do it more than once during the month. It's just crowd pleaser every time.
Oh, and everything. He's just so fucking talented,
It's
man.
the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
Right, I've got it. So this is... I'll send it to you. Go. This is Cara watching our cat drag a spider out and yelling,
And the legs are coming out her mouth.
And then... This one more time.
I don't even know I can make that noise.
Oh, right.
Last question.
Final one.
There's a few people asking, and it's a good way to do some plugs at the end. Just like 3 recommendations for fringe shows to see.
I saw previous podcast guest Glenn Wool today. I was a fan of Glenn before I was a stand-up. I remember meeting Glenn in Galway when I was like 18 years old, and I couldn't believe I was on the bill with him. I saw him live. He instantly became my favourite fucking comic. Then he's never gone down. And then this year I saw him in like but he's doing a smaller room because it's not a full show yet. So it's like he's clearly building up the fucking material and stuff. But to watch somebody that good in that smaller room was both joyous in the sense that it's like, man, this is what the Fringe is about, but also like, oh fuck, this is why the industry sucks. That was the best show I've seen on Fringe, like by a mile. Like, no, not by a mile. That's unfair, but just in the sense of in the terms of comedy that I'm into, the lines, the way he was able to engage with the fucking audience, I was fucking blown away from. And also, Glenn Wool walked on stage to a really good room, but not a full room, and because of the lighting in his room, he was instantly able to see me, Mark Nelson, his manager, his manager's wife, and Frankie Boyle. Right? And I'm like, if I were to walk out on stage to Frankie Boyle and Mark Nelson and Brett Vincent, I would probably pull that show if I could see them, or I would just be like, immediately move to the back. Glenn Wool, the questions he asked of the audience members were to me, Frankie, and fucking Brett. And I'm like, and he made gold out of it all. And I'm like, that's a level of confidence and skill to be on the circuit it's just unmatched. Like, me and Cullen spent 5 minutes dissecting all of his jokes afterwards. I fucking loved it. Also, I still cannot express how good a Rouge Ashfaq show was. I loved it so very much. And I'm going to say for the last one, just for the fucking theatre's sake, because I did love it, Mythos Ragnarok was, if I have to put that in, because otherwise the answer would be Gareth Watt's show, but because I've done 2 comedies, I'm going to have to fucking stick in a theatre one. It would be Mythos Ragnarok.
Minor ones that I've done before, I haven't done yet, and I will do this month. Masaoke, great night out.
Could you just give a brief explanation of what it is?
Mass karaoke.
Uh-huh.
And by that, it's a live band playing very good songs, and the words are on projectors at the back. I think it's in Spiegel Tent.
Yeah.
So you've got to really be in the mood for it, but it's a good time. You would not enjoy it. Not for you at all.
Unless there was a seat at the side to watch everyone
Well,
else
yeah,
doing
it's where we did Baby Disco.
Oh, if I had a seat at the side, I would never leave the table, but I could watch other people do mass karaoke, and that's
It's great. Another one, The Magnets.
Oh, yeah.
They're great. They're only doing specific, like I think it's like a 1 week run.
You know, they introduced me onto stage once.
Did they?
I once,
They're great.
My 3rd ever Fringe show, I was at the Spiegel Tent in the Assembly Gardens, and they were the show before me, and I got to know them all because I loved them, because I'd seen their show. They were such a good a cappella group.
Oh, they're brilliant.
And the last day, it was my show, The Joker, which was that song, Find Me the Fucking Artist, called The Joker. It was the #1 the year I was born, and the month I was born. I'm a smoker, I'm a joker, I'm a real life talker. That one. They introduced me. They all came on stage before me and did that in a cappella to bring me on, and it was devastatingly the best bit of the show by a mile.
Oh, they are fab.
Oh, they're so
I'll be going
good.
to see them. That's 2 music ones. I really like the music-y ones.
Yeah, you do.
And I'd always recommend a Circus one, whether
Yeah.
it's like La Clique, I've done that a few times. The Sophie's Surprise 29th. There's a few Circusy ones that I want to go back and see. So any Circus one, it's always, they're brilliant, and I think they all kind of do more than one show, because the people that have done the clique I've seen on other circus shows, they swap around.
It's almost cabaret-esque.
Yeah.
They do other people. It's almost like comedy. You go and do other spots at other shows
Yeah,
and
that's-
things. It's like fucking Ruben K's K-Hole.
It's yeah, I'd recommend them. They're always good.
Okay, well, first off, before I find these, thank you for doing something I know you're not usually comfortable with.
Like this.
Yeah, but I mean, I joined you in the fucking jammies to make sure.
Yeah, but you're always on camera.
And I always look terrible while I'm on camera.
You don't care.
I don't care.
I'm tired and hungover and
Well, I think
with scrapes of last night's makeup topped up with some fresh makeup. It's just scaffy.
Well, I think you look beautiful, and I think you've done a very good job.
Thanks.
And I'm very grateful that you came on here and let me talk for the first 45 minutes. Then joined in the end. I'm sorry to just replicate our relationship live on camera.
Now everyone knows what our life is like.
And now, if you want to look down the camera and trash talk Natalie into fucking doing the podcast,
I'll never bully her into this.
no,
No, I do it with her.
Okay,
Maybe we should do that.
we do one. We can do.
We very nearly did it. Remember we were in Manchester, and we were going to do the "I love you," but then me and Natalie chickened out.
Because you got too drunk.
No, we got so drunk that we didn't have to do it. Not that we were like, oh, we're too nervous.
Yes, but that's the same.
No, we said we were going to do it because we were drunk. We were feeling confident.
Understood.
And then when we came out of that, we were like, no. I got that entire story backwards. We were going to do it because we were drunk and be like, yeah, we could do that. That's so cool. And then the next day, no, thank you.
Understood.
Not for us.
Well, thank you for getting beyond
She
it.
texted me saying good luck. It felt like a threat. Good luck.
Yeah. She also sends that to you whenever you and Kai are just hanging out.
Yep.
Good luck getting away with this, you fucking slut. What shows are you doing during the Fringe? What can we plug? Where can we see you?
Remember that time? I actually told people at the So You Think You're Funny party that me and Jill had a show at the Fringe. And I was like, I can't actually get you any tickets because we've fully sold out.
Oh.
So sad for you.
It's a 2-woman show.
Jara?
Called The Pussy Dialogues.
No. Oh God, I was so
It's where
drunk
we
then.
just queef into each other's
I wonder if
vagina.
anyone ever actually followed up checking out the show that I plugged really hard. It didn't
I
exist.
imagine a lot of horny, bald 40-year-old men
Well,
did.
there's a lot of women we were telling about it.
Yeah?
Don't know why. Don't know where this goes. When I'm drunk,
Yeah.
weird things happen.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm very grateful.
And you go pay for parking.
I love
My car's been sat for a long time. I might have a ticket.